Hi Shashank, how are you?
I am very good, Vikram. So nice to see you after such a long time.
Well, I think almost 9 years or so.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So you reached out to me for learning a little bit about personal branding, if I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes, yes. Actually, I was in touch with your this thing. I used to see your statuses, and I used to see that you are working really hard on your LinkedIn
Right.
profile.
Yes.
And now today, when I saw you, 16,000 impressions, I was like so happy, and I thought that I should definitely learn it from you. How
Right.
can we create a powerful profile?
Great, great, great. So I'll ask you. So this is getting recorded and will be uploaded in YouTube for
Okay.
other people who will have similar questions.
Yeah.
So I just want to know first to understand what is the purpose. Like, is there any particular objective that you want to gain from the personal brand that you are trying to?
So yeah, I'm actually planning to start my own training consultancy. I want to export training from India.
Right.
And for the same, I want to build a personal brand so that if any client comes to my profile, they know that they can trust the person.
Yes,
Uh,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I think I can understand, and it's a very good way to approach it. Also, I think I have seen this work for me quite a bit in recent times. And so, what kind of particular training that you will be focusing on?
So there are many varieties of training. Firstly, I am going to focus on campus to corporate the most. So I want to tie up with the universities outside the country,
Right.
particularly in some areas I'm actually thinking of, some
Great.
countries specifically. Yeah.
Great. Great. All right. Great. So I think I've got a little bit of input that I want. So I have been trying this for many years now, as you were rightly mentioned, and to find the right balance, I think could be tricky when you are not coming from a marketing background or like you have just studying everything on your own. What I found useful is if you have kind of one platform and one source of content or one what they call is as a master content or your pillar content is what some of the terminology is. And if you have those two things sorted out or you figured it out like which one will work best for you, listening to you LinkedIn I think sounds pretty good because it's pretty much B2B. Universities are pretty much runs like a business, and corporates are corporates, so LinkedIn would be a great platform to you. And what will be the your pillar content? So there can be multiple options of the pillar content. So what are you more comfortable in? Like, are you good at writing blogs or articles, something like that, or are you good at video content, or what kind of content that you're really good at?
So all I can say is that it's very inconsistent.
All right,
I can write well, but the problem is I run out of content after a certain amount of time.
absolutely,
So and then that writer's block, that comes that hey, what should I post? I am totally
great.
clueless.
Great,
Yeah.
great. So yeah, I see. Anyways, I'm not going. I'm not even a content expert or a personal brand expert, but I'm a practitioner. That's what I would say. I've tried many content here from time to time again. So I think I think what I did, you can at least try. So the what you mentioned, right? The writer's block or the content, like you just stop what to content, what to put is
Post.
this
Yeah.
post is the thing. So the thing that is working for me, I like that's been working for many is podcast pretty much. Okay. So that's what is the pillar content. That's my source of content. So basically I
Mhm.
don't have to think about the content or anything. I bring in an expert, I prepare few topics and ask them question like a business interview or a sales interview or similar pattern. The pattern is same. The objective is not to sell them something or to, but the optimum the pattern is to dig deep, to understand, to gain knowledge, so that the target audience, in this case I'm not sure, your target audience, if I'm not wrong, are actually universities, not the student, right?
Correct. Correct.
Right. So your target audience would be basically the maybe I think the what they call is
Recruitment cells and
recruitment cells. Yes, yes,
correct.
absolutely. So you have to kind of create a podcast that content of that podcast will help those recruitment cells officer or recruitment cell manager. I think the officers are the pretty much good thing, because one of the challenges they might have is to onboard the corporate for their campus interview and stuff. So that could be one of the challenges. So you could figure out which could be the what could be the thing that they might be needing, and then find maybe corporate guest, the HR side of the corporate, as a guest to your podcast, because then you will have a source of contacts or connection through your podcast guest, which you can maybe later leverage. In the sense, you might not share the personal contact. That's, we will not do anything unethical here. What we can do is we can say that this is the public profile or the LinkedIn profile of it, or maybe just simple as like this is my podcast episode with this particular person, and I think that would be there. And most likely than not, in that they share their LinkedIn profile and all, so all the public information is available. So you, anyways, your job is to bridge the IT with the recruitment cell. So your podcast can be of a weekly podcast or something like that, and then you can have this IT managers or the talent acquisition managers on the company side of the big whatever tech or management or sales, whatever field that you can niche down to it, and then you can focus on it. So it invariably is kind of you do your business side of it, and the byproduct of it is your content episode, which can be an audio, which is very straightforward. And I've already written an article. I will send you the link later. I will mark it in the video comment also. That's pretty straightforward. And the beauty of it is, after you have this 30 minutes of recording, 1 hour recording, whatever you have, you can go through it, and then you will have either uh, whatever they say. If there's some aha moment is there, you can create a piece of video, picture, or like mostly picture or text based thing. And if you are good at writing, as you mentioned, you have the source, then you can put your analogy, and then you can put your couple of suggestion at the end of it, and that gives you a content piece for 365, is what I have seen. So that is one of the reason I think my LinkedIn has spiked in last 2 weeks, and this is a very recent phenomena. I'm pretty pretty hiked on it. Like it's like it was all I think the impression was like 900, 700 or something. Now it's 17,000. Like it's it's like it is
Boom.
exponentially boom, right? But in a day I can easily, like, it takes me 10 minutes to post uh, maybe 5 to 6 content on different groups and all. So that's one thing. So basically your pillar content is this, is what I did, that I can suggest for you. And now how to break it down is simple. Like, there are tools which are available where you can just upload your audio, and it gives you the whole transcription of your episode. So you get everything immediately. So I have you just upload the video, it transcribes, and it gives, so you get your text. I just do editing bit of it and not even write. So that's why I told you it takes me 10 minutes to post 5 content. It's pretty much straightforward there. And based on that, I create those Canva images. Like, I'll show you, share a couple of, I will just share a couple of them with you right away. And yes, that's about it. That's what I do, and that has been kind of very useful for me. And do you have any questions so far?
Just one question
Right.
about this Canva images. So, for example, I've seen a lot of people. So, how their LinkedIn post looks, they post it just like that. So, are you talking about that Canva images or something else?
So let me show you an example. So now here you can do a lot of experiments. That's what I have been hearing. So let me just it also right. So this is my personal post. So if you see, there are this has almost 600 impressions. This has 1,000. This is
Mm-hmm.
now I think there will be 2,200. This is what one day yesterday's post. It's again
Okay.
1,000. And this is my original pillar post. Like, the episode is out, and these are pretty much
Mhm.
the content from that main episode that's going on. This is what I'm talking about, Canva image. So what I did here is,
Okay.
pretty much the insight here is that people should do more collaboration. The brand should do more collaboration with the supply chain. It's my core expertise here. So what I've done is, I've taken a template with the Canva image. I've mentioned move towards collaboration, and then kind of worked with this. So I'm playing around with this. But if
So
for
just a question on this, if sorry to interrupt,
no
but if
problem.
you'll see this post is from the responsible business, like I think that is, oh, you have posted this
I- in the group,
post in a okay group.
in a
Okay.
group. So these are my groups. So this post I've, so you see there are two posts. So one post I've posted in a group, and one
Okay.
post I've done in my my local only. So
Okay.
LinkedIn is suggesting me like you posted on this group, posted on that group. So I just once they suggest something, you just go ahead and do it, because that means they will promote it a little more. That's pretty much
Yeah.
the idea.
Yeah.
So this is another. I like this post because so moving problem from one place to another, there is a term called as issue shifting that my guest
Mhm.
mentioned, and I just kind of made a man pushed that.
So another question on this, generally when people post, they add a picture to it, like they add
Right.
their handles address. You haven't done that, any
No,
like
no, I haven't put the brand. So what I have seen is, so when you are too popular, or when your post is getting too viral or something, then it becomes very useful. Okay.
okay.
So what I have seen is even this impression also, that doesn't mean like people are coming to your page and looking for you. So if they want something, they will find you, because you are already posting, so they can come and click on my post, for example, and they will come to know which company I work. I have
Correct.
already mentioned my email ID here, so they can come, and if they want any work, and I've got request also. They have got new guest requests. They have emailed me
Mhm.
straight away, because they will come to know about me if they want to. Otherwise, you can put, so for example, here I have put this hashtag sustainability scores. So that's my podcast's name, our
Okay.
podcast name. So I put, but there is no nothing wrong. You can put your handle name and you can do the best, that what's called
Mhm.
as hygiene work. But I haven't seen much of like uh, see, it's end of the day, this is a bit of a marketing, right? So at end of the day,
Right.
we are doing it for some kind of contact sales or something, or at least the
Mhm.
first conversation. What I've
Right.
seen is works more is the comment bit and replying to that comment, and then getting engagement with that is not, the number are good. It's a vanity matrix. It doesn't bring money in your home, like, let me put it very clear. But it brings enough awareness, like, where you can start a conversation. But what it brought is a lot of people wanting to, like, I've got a lot of connection requests, so that I've got for sure. Like, people are connecting, like asking me for the connection request. That's happening. The another thing that is happening is, like, as I mentioned, one of the guests straight away dropped me an email saying that I would like to get into, but they come to know, right? So they can connect with me here, so they will. So that additional thing is not something would will be a plus. This is nothing creative as such. Like, if it is a very generic topic, for example, time management or mental health, or something which is very hot, or in your case it can be, because you can talk about millennial mindset on current jobs and remote work, and like, so you are like sitting on a very hot and like LinkedIn current topic, and your work is also related to mostly jobs for which LinkedIn was initially started. So for you it would make sense to put your handle and all, because there might be some insight your guest might tell you that could be a viral content. And so there is no virality is not there in my content still now, which we will see if it happens. But yeah, I would not, like, if you want, you can go ahead and put. I'm also experimenting, completely ignoring my image post also. So if you see the recently, for example, so this is a pure text and it has more impressions. So LinkedIn kind of works more on
Correct.
text. And the similarly, if this is an image test, again in the group, this the group was also not active, but I have seen, like, in the past, I've tried to put more images on the group, and it has not given me so much of an uh, some of them has given me, but obviously for this image is also very attractive, and like it has its own glam to it, and plus I've got some interaction, but it has not been. So I've been experimenting with this again has, so it works. It sometimes it works. And also, for example, this image takes me 10-20 minutes, so for one image to think and to pick a statement and all. So I don't have, like, sometimes I don't have bandwidth to even create all this. So I pick and choose basically. But my argument is, if I can get the same output, even the better output in a text image with this one, like this one getting 3700, I would like to do that all day long and gain benefit of it, right? So this is what we can do. Again, another thing that you can do is you can promote only your podcast like this. So I've created this banner here, and now I'm kind of playing with LinkedIn and Twitter because there is where my demographics is. So you can see the name of my podcast, and you can listen to any of them and link in the bio. And when someone clicks here, it goes to the podcast and people can listen to it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. One topic, you gain success in it. So the for the first month, I think I took like in a week I take approximately 6 to 8 hours is what my work total work. This also includes sending requests to the guest, recording the episode, editing. Editing doesn't like it's not like it. I just like this also will what I will do initially from the beginning. I will cut a piece at the end. Also, I'll cut whatever the extra excess is, and whatever in the center, I will just upload is it as it is uh, because if you make too much of a friction, then as you said there will be writer blocks, fatigue and all. So you have to make it frictionless is what I thought is kind of easy. And you can be on top of it, like you can be confident about it, like you asked me today you want to have a call, and I agreed because I know like this is quick, anyone can do it, and you gave me an opportunity to record it also, so that in future someone asks me I can share, even in I can also go and watch and see what went well, right? One hack that worked that I would address you is the LinkedIn groups. So more groups there are in, so I've seen because the group has dedicated people, and I don't know LinkedIn is promoting in the group or not, but what I've done, the micro piece when I post it on the LinkedIn group, that gets more impression than my personal group. And I used to have 10,000 connection. Now I've trimmed down to 3,000 connection. It has kind of improved my impressions earlier also. You might be surprised, but I have a reason why it might have happened. I will just tell you know, let you know. But in that also, there were, as I mentioned, there was 1,000 impression on an average, or 700 was an average. But in group, it goes to 3,000, 4,000 because everyone is interested in that topic. And then in that micro first two line, I just kind of make that how put that line which will help that group to think about the subject from their point of view. So that all a little bit of customization it takes. So whatever 10-20 minutes I spend a bit, and I put it in different groups, and that is kind of one of the core thing that is hitting. But as they mentioned, it's the whole system, and the result is always at the end of it, right? But if I don't have the pillar content, or if I don't have this strategy to create all this, transcribe it and get the text out of, otherwise it will become very too much laborious to execute it and to get those results. Now I can see which one is working, and then I can put all my energies and effort there. Okay. And
Absolutely.
yes, and the reason I think why that number reduction is worked is, for example, in your case, let me say, so if you might be ending up connecting with the IT cell director and IT cell officer also, right? And suppose, and in companies also, you could get to a talent acquisition person, but then that talent there could be a different department for the fresher talent acquisition and the senior. So you might end up initially, or by it, you can't know, right? Sometime accidentally you put on the director side because you thought these are the decision makers and all. So if your crowd has too much of this peripheral people who are not directly related to it, and when you post a freshers or something content related to fresher, the senior person has nothing to do with it because there is other group who is taking care of it. So similarly, this outer circle, they are not interested, and the LinkedIn algorithm work. If you get some impressions, then you get some like that. That's how you increase. So when your connections are smaller, and I've seen this in big, whoever is the LinkedIn, whatever they are, whoever are teaching LinkedIn, I've seen their total number of connections are always 2,000 or 1,500 or 2,500, which surprised me. And their followers may be in 10,000 or 12,000. That is a different thing. But when they are posting, or their connection is smaller because they want their content to primarily spill on this smaller circle. And in B2B, normally you need only 100 to 200 like good contacts. that is enough to survive the entire business, is what I have learned in the hard way. Earlier I also went on chasing numbers. I think at one point I had almost 12,000 connections, and then I slowly, it took me almost 5 months to remove this
Yeah,
this connection,
that would
because
have been a tedious task.
yeah, a very tedious task. I had a help also. Somebody helped me also to remove it, and from my team, of course. But I need to sort it them, right? I need to approve each if I need to remove them or keep them. So I have to make decision at least on every one of them. So I've removed all the outer circle. Now it is a core. So I think that's where some of my regular people have get like I get a recurring interest also. Like these people, they might see always my post and they like my podcast, so they keep on liking it. So you create your own a group of person or whatever audience. I call them community. Basically, you have community champions, so they will be a part of all of our activity, and we need only 50 to 100 community champions. Initially it will be tough to get the top 10, but once you, like, currently I have a 5 to 10 people who who I see like regularly, kind of. So if you see average also likes are only 5, so that's why the numbers are small but the impression is good. So normally the percentage is like that, the impression will be 100, the engagement or the actual people who are actually interested will be 10, and the people who like is 1. So that's the always the ratio, that 110%, 1%. And from that 1% also, the actual sales call will happen 10% of that 1%, and the person who will buy will be like, the ratio is very thin, especially in the B2B space, is what I have seen. And it depends upon the, because it's a very niche thing, right? So there are not many people who want you, and also you will have competition, but fairly less. Any questions you have so far?
So far, so good. I think after implementing, I think I would be coming up with more questions.
Right, definitely. So I would encourage you to start a podcast right away. So you don't have to do anything fancy like this. You get a paid Zoom thing, because it has an automated recording like one I'm doing. Once you get recorded, you will get an audio file in it also. There is a tool called as Audacity. I've mentioned the link how to record a podcast. In that I've mentioned all the steps. So you can record it and then you edit it, and then there are free tools like Anchor, which publishes it in Apple Podcast, Google, or anything. So it's pretty much
Super
a
helpful. Whatever you have told me, the podcast part especially.
right,
But just wanted to ask, like, I as a person, I never go to podcasts to actually listen.
right.
So, um, apart from the content generation, are you getting listeners also on the
Yes.
podcast?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I have. So it took me some time. So initially you will have minimum listens. For example, might have two, five, or like, because obviously nobody knows you. How will you? So right now I would be recording on Monday my 43rd episode. So there is already a schedule. So one of my recent pod episode have reached 100 downloads. Like, so I have two episodes which have 100 downloads. On an average, I get above 40 downloads. Like right now, I get that. So what happens is, so that's what I'm telling you. Your micro content, for example, let me share this one. So your every content should have a CTA. CTA is call of action, call to action. I'm sure you know that. So basically, whoever is watching you, they should have something to do. You should give them some activity to do to increase their. So, for example, see, here I've mentioned this, and then I mentioned link in the bio, and in the bio, this is basically a link to my podcast. So what I've seen, as soon as I post it, so like there are 1,000 impression. There will be at least two or three people now who will go and listen to this podcast. So basically, you're promoting your podcast. That's why you will get a listen. And the long term game here is what I have seen. This is pure based on data. So my older episode got only 10, right? Like initially they used to get 10, but now everyone is sitting in 40s, because a person, when they listen to one episode, they will want, because if their subject is interesting to them, I also have a show notes and all. In my, I'll just show you my podcast link. I see here also I'm kind of plugging in my episode, right? So whoever is watching this, they will go and search this podcast. So here also I'm kind of writing a little bit, so they can see what topic I am talking. So if they have listened to this, for example, they will understand that Wikirate is a good company, or they have this like text. So for WWF UK, you might have listened to about World.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. World Wildlife Federation.
Yes, yes. So you might have heard about it. So you might want to listen to them, or like so similarly, there are a couple of other companies which kind of is very good in, like World Benchmarking Alliance is very popular in our space. So if people kind of, they like Canopy is also again a very good company and all. So people kind of go there and kind of they uh, they might have want to learn more about subject, and they listen, and what happens is they kind of listen to them also, and then they continue. And in long tail, what will happen is this is basically your kind of your promoter sitting online who is promoting themselves, promoting, because if there will be some episode will be liked by some people, they will share it with someone, so that will what will give you more awareness of business. Because whoever comes here, they, if they want to know who am I, they will come everywhere there is 73bit.com, and they can go ahead and find me and search me. So this is where people say you don't promote, like that's why in the first image I never promoted them. I What I wanted was they give them value, take them here. As soon as they come here, they will always come to know who is there. They will see my face, they will see the company's website and all, and they will come to know. Here you can put your handle or whatever you want to put, so you can put that. So that is why I'm not worried about it. What is more important is, for example, if my podcast, instead of 100 downloads, if I suppose, if I had, imagine if it had 1000 downloads, or imagine if I had 10,000 downloads. So 10,000 connection is not so valuable than 10,000 download, because that means those many people are, I'm providing them value. For example, this video is very useful for you because you wanted something and then you are getting it. So somebody who is in the similar line, they might watch this video, like they will share this video to other people, or you might end up sharing this with us. So the whole thing of this is not the podcast, but how much value you are trying to bring, or in that also. Initially I used to be a bit awkward, but now over the period of time, now I am digging and helping my research analyst, asking them questions that will help my research analyst. For you, it should ask your talent manager, so that it helps your IT cell people. Like what
Yeah.
would be the
So you are
best
the
way?
voice of the people.
Yes, I'm kind of a community manager here for. So basically I'm building a community, like I'm helping my research analyst to work better. So I'm digging information, I'm going on hunt and figuring out those insights, and bringing them like a news, or a kind of a value providing to them, so that they don't have to wander and figure out from what is going on, what are the new trends and all those kind of things. So I am kind of the voice for them, and it becomes kind of a. So recently, I will tell you, one of the guests, so she, her episode went on to her 100 download, but I contacted her boss, who was my previous guest, and I asked the boss if you have anyone who is kind of who would be good fit for my the episode, and I would like. So she reconnected me, and when I was having the introduction, like I'm like, I know you, but her, it was my first interaction. So we have this warming up, like how are you, and any doubts you have, you have to make them comfortable, because otherwise they will not share insight, or they will be, it will be very odd. So she mentioned, like, I just told someone that Vikram Shetty is taking my interview, so they are also very excited, and they told me it will be very, you will enjoy the con. So I don't know who told her that it will be a good thing, but that means, because on my LinkedIn, like, they, many people, like couple of them are told, like, you are always visible, or there is something that you are always constantly doing and all. So even my attempt to build the personal brand is also been noticed. So still I will not say that I have like created a brand, personal brand. Technically, if you ask somebody, they will say, for example, any, like, it's, that's what it's, a value and perceived value, right? For anybody who has no presence in LinkedIn, they might find, even if they just go to my profile and browse, they will feel like, no, this person knows their stuff, or they have like, and now recently with all the podcast stuff, that they will also find, oh, they have, like for example, if any, for anyone who has published 42 episodes of a podcast, means they know a little bit about it, right? So that's why they are doing so. So that's perceived value is something that you establish, but it will not happen overnight, as everyone knows. But you have to keep on doing it. What I felt like podcast series is nice because every week on a single day I publish it. So I have a target, and because I have a source of content, my daily content becomes easier. That's about it.
Yes.
Okay.
Lots of tips eager to
Thank
implement.
thank you. Okay, before I leave, I just want to give a bonus tip. So what you have to do is like what I did with you also. So all this that your main work will be on LinkedIn, but in your Instagram, in your WhatsApp status, in your stories, wherever you can put stories, whatever app you are using, you whatever thing you kind of like it, you just have to take a screenshot of it and publish it there, here, and talk about your work, or share this thing. So that gives you additional activity, like it has some second order effect, and it also kind of, you can kind of utilize it, so you don't have to spend too much, like 10 seconds, take a screenshot, edit, post, like as you see in my like weekly there was nothing, it was just a screenshot of my mobile of this number, which was somewhere around 16,000, and that happened this, that helped me to have this video, and that again helps me for my personal brand at a different level, because initially there will be not enough people will be talking with you, so as many people as you can talk to, just so that would be my bonus tip, and I wish you all the best, Sashank, and I will check on you to see what are you doing.
Definitely. It was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all these tips. They're all valuable. One of the like the best tip for me was the podcast part for
Right,
content generation because I'm going a lot with the writer's block. So that
right.
was a very good thing. Thank you so much for this wonderful session. I really got a lot of insights. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sashank, for doing this, and see you soon. I mean, we'll talk soon. See you. Bye bye. Good night.
Definitely, I'll keep you updated now.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.